Chapter 5 deals with nutrition, and it starts on page 71 of your dental assisting textbook. And in Chapter 5, we're going to be describing how an understanding of nutrition is used in the profession of dental assisting. We'll define nutrients found in foods, including carbohydrates, fibers, fats, proteins, and amino acids, and explain how they affect oral hygiene. We'll also identify the food sources, functions, and implications of deficiencies of fat-soluble vitamins, water-soluble vitamins, and the 7 major minerals. We'll define a calorie and the basal metabolic rate. We'll explain how to interpret food labeling. We'll discuss the implications of eating disorders. We'll explain how energy drinks and shots affect the body, and we'll also discuss diet and culture and how it relates to oral health. Dental assistants should be able to help patients with their diet. Diet is a food we eat and should not be confused with the weight loss plan. People who don't eat foods with the correct nutrients for the body have a disorder called malnutrition. Malnutrition does not mean that a person does not receive enough food, but that the food they eat lacks the nutrients that the body needs. On the flip side, more than half of Americans receive much more than the body needs, leading to obesity. Along with a lack of physical activity, the majority of the population gains unnecessary pounds. This is the new generation food icon to aid consumers in building a plate that is more nutritious than choices. Visit choosemyplate.gov for the online tool that uses your personalized information, such as height, weight, age, etc., to guide you in the right direction. You can track your personal progress there as well. Nutrients are defined as any chemical substance in the food that provides the body tissues and structures with the elements necessary for growth, maintenance, and repair. There are over 40 essential nutrients that the human body requires. They can be grouped into these 6 broad classifications, such as carbohydrates, fats and lipids, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and water. Carbohydrates provide quick energy to the body. Cariogenic foods can be very dangerous to your oral cavity. Cariogenic foods cause the teeth to decay, especially when sugars are allowed to slowly flow through the mouth. Examples may include soda, candy, and even crackers. With infants, parents should be informed that sweet substances for long periods of time may decay their baby's teeth. An example of this is where a parent might put the baby to bed with a bottle and that sweetened liquid bathes on the teeth all night long, causing decay. The benefits of fiber, which comes from fruit, vegetables, and grains, should also be mentioned. Fiber should be consumed daily at the rate of about 20 to 30 grams. Americans currently consume less than 15 grams of fiber, and fiber has been shown to reduce the chances of colon cancers as well as cholesterol levels. Fats and lipids Fats and lipids are both insoluble in water. Fats are derived from a solid, and lipids are oils from a liquid. It is suggested that Americans should consume only 30% of their diet from fat, but most are consuming about 40 to 50%. Fats are an alternative source of energy, often referred to as the backup source. It is possible to make complete proteins by combining complementary foods at the same meal. Examples are corn and beans, macaroni with cheese, and cereal with milk. It is important that the body get all 10 essential amino acids for healthy growth and repair of body tissues. Vitamin A strengthens tissues and bones. Keratin is a plant form, and retinol is an animal form of vitamin A. Vitamin D ensures healthy bones and tooth development. Most milk is fortified with both vitamins A and D. Vitamin E protects against oxidation, and vitamin K promotes formation of prothrombin, which is responsible for blood clotting and coagulation. Water-soluble vitamins include vitamin C, which prevent toothaches, hold cells together, and are found in citrus products. People with a vitamin C deficiency oftentimes have improper tooth development, have ulcerated gums, and have a slow healing process. So by evaluating a patient's teeth and gums, you can help eliminate problems by suggesting more vitamin C. Although the vitamin B vitamins are grouped together, each has a distinct function. All three together help produce energy. B1 helps prevent cardiovascular changes. B2 helps build proteins essential to growth. And B3 helps prevent gastrointestinal and nervous system disturbances. Deficiencies with vitamin B include something called angular chelosis, which is inflammation of the corners of the mouth by where the lips meet, glossitis, which is a condition of the tongue, and pellagra. There are 7 major minerals. These include calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, sulfur, magnesium, and chlorine. Each mineral helps the body operate efficiently, and they are all very important. Minerals differ from vitamins in that they are singular elements rather than complex molecules. When certain minerals are positively or negatively charged, they are called electrolytes. When a person is in good health, the electrolytes are in balance. Fluorine is a trace mineral that helps strengthen teeth. Research also indicates that it helps prevent osteoporosis. Many children are given fluoride to strengthen their teeth. And in fact, some cities have added fluoride to their water supply, which is a controversial discussion among some. Water makes up 60 to 70% of the body weight. Water is our main ingredient. Therefore, it is essential that we replenish our supply often. Drinking coffee and alcohol lead to a larger loss of water supply in your body. Quick check regarding nutrients. Which nutrient is potentially cariogenic? And what are some examples of this nutrient? Cariogenic nutrients can include carbohydrates, and an example of these are fruits, grains, and some legumes. Balancing energy includes maintaining a certain amount of calories, and metabolism has to do with the metabolic rate, which is the relationship of calories consumed to calories energized. The basal metabolic rate, or the BMR, is the energy used when a person is at rest. Ideally, people should only take in enough calories as they plan on using every day. Caloric intake can vary largely depending on size, shape, and metabolic rates. Nutrition labels use a standardized format and include the ingredients, the serving size, the calories, the nutrients, the preservatives, and whether or not it is organic. Moving to a standard label format was required by law, and it made it easier for the consumer to read. Preservatives are used to keep food from spoiling, and they must be disclosed. In order for a food to be labeled organic, it must be free from herbicides, pesticides, fertilizers, and hormones. Watching for carbohydrates and sugars can be valuable not only in sustaining a healthy weight, but as a preventative tooth decay measure. Eating disorders include chronic dieting syndrome, bulimia, and anorexia nervosa. Eating disorders can be detrimental to your body. Patients with these disorders could need special care, and they may be weak and frail. It is important that the dental assistant be aware of all possibilities and use caution. Evaluating a patient's medical and dental history can be helpful in determining why they respond as they do. If you are concerned about a patient and are not sure exactly how to handle the situation, check with your supervisor at your specific dental office. These disorders are very serious, and professional help should be sought out. Chronic dieting syndrome characteristics include large fluctuations in weight, compulsive overeating, and the use of dieting pills. The complications that can arise are chemical imbalances and high anxiety levels. Patients with this disorder may have inconsistent behavior, and you want to be aware that dieting pills and anxiety could lead to dizziness. Characteristics of bulimia include secretive and obsessive eating, binge eating followed by vomiting, laxative abuse, and excessive exercise. The patient suffering from bulimia will secretively overeat and then purge the body of the food ingested. The root of bulimia is psychological, and 3 to 5% of women in the United States have been affected by bulimia. Complications in the oral cavity from bulimia include tooth enamel erosion, sensitivity to hot and cold, and swollen and tender saliva glands. With these patients, the impact will be very noticeable in the mouth. The patient should understand the damage they're causing to their oral cavity, and therefore the complications may need to be pointed out by either the dentist or the dental assistant. Characteristics of anorexia nervosa include an extreme aversion to food, eating perceived as punishment, and oftentimes they are obsessed with foods. So patients with anorexia have an aversion to food, suffer from extreme weight loss, and are fearful of being fat, and the basis for anorexia is usually psychological. Patients with anorexia nervosa have major malnutrition issues, which will be apparent in the teeth and gums. Stasia's story in the textbook describes the serious battles of anorexia. These battles are lost far too often. And as a dental assistant, you need to be aware of a patient's situation in order to make accommodations. This type of patient may be unable to sit in a chair for long periods of time, and they may have a hard time keeping his or her head steady for procedures. Here's another quick check. What might the dental assistant observe during an examination that may indicate a patient has an eating disorder? You might observe conditions such as eroded tooth enamel, sensitivity to hot and cold, and swollen glands. Oftentimes, technology devices make fitness and health status easier to track. Things like Fitbit, Apple Watches, and apps with phones and tablets like FujiCate and Calorie King can help you stay on track. Energy drinks and shots contain high levels of caffeine and sugar, and these drinks may cause dehydration, seizures, insomnia, heart problems, and more. Recommendation is no more than 2 per day. And it's important to note that the sugars in these drinks can contribute to tooth decay. We all come from different walks of life, and it is only through caring and understanding that we may be able to help one another. Being educated on accepting different cultures and backgrounds is the only way an assistant can make helpful recommendations. So you want to avoid stereotyping and be informed when making suggestions about the variety of foods, because some foods may be unfamiliar to you. Okay, so this is everything I have for chapter 5. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.